What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything. In this video we're looking at the Precision Chef Knife series from a company called Edge of Belgravia. Now that might be a brand that you've never heard of, but if you are into stylish and functional chef knives and kitchenware, then this is definitely a company to look out for. We're going to start with the packaging. And actually we're off to a good start right away, because this is packaging done right. Very stylish box, very sturdy, with a magnet here on the bottom that we'll get to in a second. But a very nice presentation of the product right away, a bit about the brand up here, and obviously the product is displayed, which is something I can always appreciate. Back of the box shows you exactly what you're getting. This is a 4-knife set. We're going to get a bread knife, a chef knife 6-inch, a Deba knife 5-inch, and a paring knife which is 4 inches big. So that's quite nice, a little overview of what you're getting with a little description of every product. And here you see a nice sort of presentation of the product as well. This block is actually interesting because it doesn't come with the block, obviously, considering the box. But it is a set that works really well with this block. It's actually a block we'll review in another video. But they come separately, but they go really well together, both in terms of design and functionality. Now, the company itself, Edge of Belgravia, is one of the world's most innovative and bold chef knife brands. And it is based in London. So it is sort of a very big focus on design, but surely not taking the functionality out of the equation as well. Then here on the side of the box there's actually the chemical formula of the steel used in these knives. And I can really appreciate that, because that shows that you're confident in your product and not afraid to show what's in there. If you have anything to hide, you don't put it in, of course. But since they apparently don't have anything to hide, they're not afraid to put the full chemical description on the side of the box. It says right here it is a medium hard stainless steel, which is an excellent value, and it combines the advantage of long edge retention with ease of sharpening. So, you know, you get a bit of both worlds. Not a crazy high price, not a crazy high hardness either, but therefore you get a good mix of value and functionality. This is actually their entry-level knife set. They have several other knife sets as well, with various designs and uses of steel. But this is their entry-level set. So from here on you can sort of move into the brand and move up the chain. Now, opening the box up, of course, here are the 4 stars of the show. Hopefully you can see it properly. These are the 4 knives that we saw on the back of the box. Very well presented in sort of this foam holding. So this is not only a nice way to present your knives, but also a good way to take your knives with you. For example, when you move house or when you're cooking at a friend or something, and you want to take your own knives with you, then this is an excellent way to transport them safely as well. So this is the box and the unboxing experience. Let's now have a look at the knives themselves. Alright, so here we have the Precision knife set laid out on my slightly stained cutting board here in the kitchen, since, you know, knives belong in the kitchen and this is where you use them, so I thought it would make sense to film that here. We're going to be doing a little cutting later and see if this is all, you know, design over substance or not. Because design is a big part of these knives. You know, knives come a dime a dozen sometimes, but this knife set in particular stands out a lot because of the design. Made by Christian Bird, which is the head designer at Edge of Belgravia. So from left to right we have the 6-inch bread knife, a 6-inch chef knife, a 5-inch Deba knife, and a 4-inch paring knife. So this is pretty much the set that you need to equip your kitchen and cut pretty much anything every day. Anything obviously from bread and soft items to your all-round chef knife, to more fish-like products with the Deba knife, and for more precision work with the paring knife. If you had to make, you know, a set of knives, this would probably be all you ever need. Alright, so let's give you a little tour around the knife with this 6-inch chef knife. As you can see, it's a very stealthy black design, which I quite like. But it does allow for quite a lot of smudges and prints going on. So you're going to have to wash these knives quite often in order to keep them look good. Since it's a stainless steel knife, it's also going to need regular sharpening, of course. But that should be no issue, since, like I said in the beginning, it's made of a medium hardness steel that makes sharpening actually quite easy. You don't have to go for the full diamond edge sharpening tools. You can just do this with regular sharpening tools, which is nice. On the other side, we have Precision designed in London, stainless steel, made in China written, which is, you know, not strictly necessary, but I think it's quite nice that they put the line of the knives here on as well. Same stylish black on the other side, of course. Now the handle is soft touch. You know, I suppose that's nice, it's decent for a grip. But when it comes to grip, you can see that this is the way the knife is intended to be held. long handle, and your thumb really goes neatly in this little corner over here. So that's nice. Personally for me, I like to hold my knives slightly more towards the front, which this knife is not suitable for. First of all, because of the shape of the handle, but also because the edge here is very sharp. If I show you my regular knife, this is a Sharpening Miyabi knife. It has actually a rounded part here and much less of a designed handle, so I can actually use the pinch grip much better with this knife. So that's not the case with these. You're supposed to hold them like so. That does give you a slight disadvantage in terms of the leverage you can put on it, since the knife, you know, starts here and you're holding it back here, but only slight. You get used to it quite quickly and you can cut without any trouble. Altogether, I think it's a design that works well. Both looks good and in terms of functionality as well. It is important to stress at this point as well that this is not a super high-end knife set. This is not your professional line or anything. This is their entry-level line in terms of price and functionality as well. So these knives will get you along just fine if you just, you know, a normal cook and you need a good set of tools. No problem at all, but it's certainly not the cutting edge of what Edge of Belgravia or knives in general have to offer. Now obviously you want to see a little cutting, so we're going to cut a cucumber with the 6-inch chef knife. The good part actually about this knife being 6 inches is that it is quite easy to handle. If this knife would be any longer, then it would be sort of disproportionate to the size of the handle. But it is quite easy to manage this way, even though I can't use my preferred grip, which is a bit further up the blade. Because it's sharp, it's actually very predictable in what it does. No real surprises there, which is of course why a sharper knife is actually safer than a blunt knife that, you know, you can't really tell what it's going to do. It chops easy, it chops straight, it chops fine, no problems whatsoever. It is a knife that you can really you know, enjoy the cooking experience with, which is what a knife is all about. And especially a knife, you know, at this price point, should just do what it needs to do and be functional. And you know, when we start going into higher price categories and more technical specifications, then you can start demanding more from a knife. But from, you know, an everyday chef knife, an everyday kitchen knife, this is excellent. You can do anything you want with it and all will be well. Cutting, chopping, really all is good. No problems whatsoever with this knife. You're going to be very confident in what you're doing with it. Alright, so what do we make of the precision knife set from Edge of Belgravia? I think there's a few things that we can conclude after using these knives for a little over a week, chopping pretty much anything I do in daily life, from vegetables to meat to bread and everything in between. I think this is a great starter knife kit. It is certainly both in terms of price and design aimed at the bottom end of the market. This set by itself costs just under 80 euros here in Germany, so it's not expensive, but still you get a good set of knives for that. With these 4 knives, you're pretty much good to go for anything that you'll ever cut. There are a few more knives available. You can also get a 112 euro set, and you have a few more specifically tasked knives. But with these 4, you can pretty much cut 95% of anything you'll ever do in the kitchen. And they work really well. Made of a medium hardness steel that keeps the price down and makes them easier to sharpen. I think this is a great deal, and you get a great set of knives that not only look good but are also functional in the kitchen. So as far as sort of an entry-level knife set, both in terms of getting into the kitchen, getting into the cooking game, but also getting into the Edge of Belgravia brand, I think this is a job very well done. Product well executed in terms of packaging, design, what it delivers in the kitchen and what it does for you. And also longer term, when you have to start sharpening the knives, that can also be done at a relatively lower cost because it's a medium hardness steel, so you don't have to go for the full diamond edge sharpening tools, which are obviously cheaper as well. So all around, this is a very accessible knife set. Personally for me, this is not the knife set for me. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen cooking for myself, my family, friends and so on. And I demand quite a lot from especially from my knives, which is why the knife I showed you earlier is a 250 euro chef knife, which is obviously no comparison to this knife set. And it doesn't aim to be either. This is to get started, to get going, and gives you a very all-round set of equipment that you're going to be very fine with for most of the time. If you're demanding more from your equipment, then Edge of Belgravia has other knives as well that provide you with better quality, better steel, more usability and so on, or you can obviously look at other brands like I did.
But I say this is an excellent all-round kit to have in your kitchen. Goes really well with the Black Diamond knife block that we showed in another video. In terms of design, it has to fit in your kitchen and be your taste, but you can't argue with the functionality and the clever use of materials and design to keep the price point low and to make it a first step into the cooking game and into the brand. So certainly job well done by Edge of Belgravia with this knife set, providing pretty much everything you need in a very compelling, stylish and good looking package. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the precision knife set from Edge of Belgravia. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel please, it helps us out a lot, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!